All right, everybody, we're going to get started. Thank you again for joining us today. My name is Megan McConnell, and I'm the Marketing Associate here at Inside View. And this is our weekly demo within the Microsoft Dynamics CRM instance. We do integrate within all the major CRMs. Today we're focusing on the Microsoft Dynamics CRM to show you that integration. Before we get started, though, I want to run through a couple quick items. First of all, everybody will be placed on mute for the duration of the session. We do this just to ensure that there's no background noise and give everybody the chance to hear. But if you do have any questions come up during the session, feel free to type them in that questions box within the GoToMeeting interface. And then secondly, a designated rep will be reaching out to everybody directly in the next week or so. I will provide an email address at the end of the session that you can use to reach out to us if you're looking for a more immediate response. And so now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce everybody to Preston Hurd, who will be giving our demo today. Preston, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. My name is Preston. I'm a Sales Solutions Consultant with Inside View. I'm going to be walking you today through a brief presentation. We're going to jump into the product and show you a demo of Inside View. And then we will open it up at the end, as Megan had mentioned, for any questions. So throughout the presentation, please do chat into the GoToMeeting, and we'll be happy to take those questions and address them following. Our mission at Inside View is to improve how you get leads. We're talking about engaging with prospects, how you win deals, closing more business, and how you retain and grow your customers. Talking about your current accounts. There are a few statistics that really say it all. There are challenges that sales and marketing organizations are facing today. 92% of buyers ignore unsolicited contacts. And what are we really saying there? Cold calling is pretty much dead. A pretty bold statement. 70% of buyers decide without any sales contact at all. So the decision process is already made prior to even receiving the very first sales call because of all the research that's done ahead of time. And engaging B2B buyers requires timely, value-based, relevant messaging and a warm connection. And that's really these challenges that Inside View meets head on. That's where we come in. There is such a large number of data sources out there today. It's difficult to get the efficient and quality research and stay on top of it in a timely manner. And it can be completely overwhelming. You see all of the different data sources that are out there pictured on the screen. Because today's buyers are so much more informed and harder to reach, you really do need more insights and connections these days to be able to engage with them. So let's have a look at what Inside View is doing. We're taking all of this information that you can see up in the clouds in the upper right here, and we're delivering it, these data, these insights, the connections, all inside your Microsoft Dynamics CRM, right where you're living. And that's why Inside View is the most complete CRM intelligence platform to help you use the data, the insights, and the connections. Thus, you're finding more leads, you're winning more deals, and you're growing your accounts, doing a better job of managing them. How do we do this? It's more than just data, it's intelligence, CRM intelligence, and we're really delivering three essential components as a part of CRM intelligence. It's not just the data, that's the first component though, but on top of the data, we're delivering insights and then connections as well. And that's really the foundation for offering successful marketing, sales, and account growth. That's our suite of products as well. Inside View for sales, Inside View for marketing, Inside View for account management. Let's look at these individually. Data. With data alone, you have a small chance, 6 to 8%, in fact, of having substantive dialogue and being able to really get a response from a prospect or a buyer. But we do need to talk about data. It's the first component. And our data is so accurate. I really am just so confident to talk about the accuracy of our data. And it's because of our proprietary algorithms that crawl over 30,000 news, media, and company sources. And we take all that information, we bring it back, and we triangulate it against each other for accuracy, and then we validate it. And this is done by both technology as well as our editorial staff. So again, the accuracy of our data is the very first and most important component. Then we get into insights. You stack insights on top of data, and now your probability of making the sale has just gone up. Now you're up to 24 to 32% chance of getting some sort of response from a buyer when you've added relevant insights, those business trigger events. Think of keyword searches. We have what we call smart agents that crawl the internet across these 30,000 sources where we gather data using various data gathering methodologies and the best components of each. And now with the insights, we're really able to engage in some dialogue that's relevant with our prospects. And so that's why the chance of getting a response just went up to 24 to 32% in that range. But on top of that, when you add connections, this is really where you have an increased chance of engaging with the buyer. Now we're up to 44 to 84% chance of getting a response from a buyer. And what we're doing here is we're helping you leverage your own comprehensive and private company cloud between you and your team, your coworkers. And it's the insights combined with the connections that really help sales to be able to win more deals. And you could see here in the picture that we're leveraging your personal connections, your work history, your coworkers, your alumni, and then reference customers. And we're putting that all together, combined in the middle here in our own private inside view company cloud. And then we take all that and we deliver it right inside your Microsoft Dynamics CRM. This is what it looks like. We're going to get in a demo and show you here momentarily. But the bottom line is Inside View drives value from the lead acquisition to the sale and then on to the customer retention and growth, all managed inside your Dynamics CRM. So let's look at it that way a little bit closer throughout the customer lifecycle. We're starting out with Inside View for marketing. We're helping engage, capture more leads. Then we help you clean and enrich those leads and score and route them faster so that we could do relevant, targeted, and timely campaigns and deliver that to sales accurately. So now sales is happy because they've been able to get hotter leads faster, and they're able to engage with their prospects by using Inside View's insights and connections better to the point to where they're able to close business. Now you're managing the account, and the account managers have more bandwidth. They get alerts about the people and the company changes that they're dealing with. They're able to capitalize on cross-selling and upselling across their accounts as well. Now we're going to jump into a brief demo and show you Inside View. So I'm just bringing up Microsoft Dynamics 2013 online. And you can see here my screen. This will look familiar to you. It's the new look and feel of Dynamics. Very clean. You've got here the accounts, the contacts, the leads, and the opportunities. And these are the four objects where Inside View shows up. And we're just going to look at those briefly, and then we'll walk you through some other components of Inside View as well. So let's start out here in CRM. We're looking at the account Dell. And you can see we're missing some very pertinent information. What's the phone number? What's the address? That's some critical information. Maybe we've got Dell in there with some revenue and employee count information, but here's where Inside View really comes in to add value. So you can see here Inside View, natively integrated, embedded here inside Dynamics 2013 online. We have the firmographic information. On top of that, data, and when you think about firmographic information, think about the New York Times and editorial staff gathering the firmographic phone number, company address, all of that information. And that's the data gathering methodology that we would use from an editorial standpoint as fairly accurate. But there are some components of that that we don't use necessarily, and that's when we get in here to our smart agents. We're now talking about insights, these relevant business trigger events. And so we use other types of data gathering methodologies to gather and bring back insights, whether that would be social media, where we're getting the buzz. You can see here the buzz tab, everything that's going on in Dell's world and what people are tweeting about, for example. Think about Facebook, think about LinkedIn. We use web crawling, where we're going to the websites and we're scraping back from, think about the About Us page, where we're scraping back the names of the key governing board of directors or the executive team there, and a new title whenever a website is updated. That's real time. We are constantly going out and pulling information from the World Wide Web. And then you get into the connections piece here. And this is really a very powerful component where you can see, how am I connected to people at Dell? How am I connected to Michael Dell? And we'll get into that a little bit more. But right now I want to show you, let's recall we were missing some key pertinent information about Dell. With a click of a button, we can hit the synchronization button here, and a stare and compare window pops up, and it will say, what would you like to do? Would you like to use Inside View's information or what you've already got in your dynamic CRM? You can see here that Inside View has a few boxes that are checked with the missing information that we can add to this company record. So that's great. I want to update the account. Here's all the sources it came from, and let's update CRM with all of the vast data that Inside View provides. And you see here, success. We have updated Dell Inside CRM with a click of a button. That prevents sales reps from having to manually input all of this data. There it is. There's the phone number. There's the full address, all of the contact information, all the way down through Inside View into the other details of the account. Now let's have a look at people and contacts. So you can see here we've got the people starting at the top with Michael Dell. And I want to bring in Michael Dell's information as well. Again, you could do this for a contact, a lead, or bring in the company firmographic information with that lead. Hit sync here, and now Inside View is contacting our dynamic CRM. And let's look at something here that pops up that's important. I want to avoid duplication of records. So yes, this is the matching record that I want to update. Michael Dell's already in my CRM, so I just want to update it with the new relevant information. Maybe something's changed in his contact information, and I want to use all of Inside View's information, and let's update this contact record accordingly. So now we've taken what was currently in our CRM and we've provided just the updates there, so we're not creating a duplicate record. We always want to be aware of deduplicating wherever we can. A very similar sync functionality is available, again, in the lead and the opportunity pages as well. So we covered how our data, our insights, and our connections help to, within CRM integrated, make you more effective and more efficient. Let's have a little bit closer look at the connections piece, where I can see here that I've got Michael Dell already loaded in as a personal connection into my CRM. So that's something that I'm directly connected to. If I wanted to click on a different account here, and let's compare this. Let's click on Amazon, for example. And let's go down and let's have a look at some of the people within Amazon. I can see here, if I just load more information, that I've got some former employees that are connected as well. So, boy, here's one with 11 connections to this individual. I'd like to explore that. Maybe I want to follow this individual and keep track of ranches before I start to ask for an introduction. But here I've got a coworker that used to work with him. I can simply ask Corey here for a referral and bring up an automatic populated email that says, hey, I'd like to connect with you. And then I can adjust that a little bit, modify that a little bit. I'm not really going to send that by certain things that are going on in Ranjith's life. So what's going on in the world of Amazon? Were they tweeting about something? Did they just make an acquisition? Is there anything important there that I want to add to that email when I'm asking for an introduction? Now, not only with these insights, but these connections, I've got a very high chance of hearing back from Ranjith and at least getting some dialogue going, getting a real response here. So that's a little bit more. We said we'd talk about the connections piece. We'll show you, how this looks again in the company record, and then how we would jump into, if we want to inside view in a little bit larger view. Here we have a smaller window because we want it all inside CRM, but if we want to do more and use some other aspects of the tool, we can click a button. We open up a new window. We're still here in CRM, but side by side we've got a new window where we may want to build a list. A sales rep and marketers as well can build a list of both company and people records for particular geographic locations. We've got all international regions. We can modify criteria to say we want to really filter out just a certain employee size or revenue size, industries based on what we put together for main industries and sub-industries. We can pick multiple, or we can break it down by NAICS or SIC codes as well. There's different ways of looking at the industry. Business types, and then here's one of the most important components of how we do things that's unique and different than anything else that's out there. Look at the smart agents. We can choose any one of these business trigger events that we've preset that's important to us to say, in the last 30 days, are there any accounts in this territory with this record revenue amount and this employee count and all of this specific criteria that's been talking about expanding operations, for example. I want to see just in the last 30 days the accounts or the people that would be relevant to, and maybe they posted a blog about that or something in the news about that. Or I can come up with my own custom keywords. Now, this is something that you might think is similar to something you're familiar with, a keyword search or a Google alert. The difference is these are smart agents, and these are going to take something that it could very broadly give you back results and make it very specific. And so we've custom designed these with the main business trigger events that could be relevant to you. We can then incorporate how we're connected, and then we can include our customers or not in the results and search for a list. So that's a very powerful tool. We can export it right into a CSV file, and you can add that with various campaigns into your dynamic CRM. The other thing that we'd like to talk about is watch lists. So you can see here, if I were to build a watch list of my customers, both companies and people that I'm following, or I wanted to build a watch list of my competitors, both the companies and the people that I compete with, I can stay apprised with the certain smart agents that I've predetermined every morning with an email in my inbox that tells me I'm alerted of these particular agents when any of those companies, my competitors, my customers, has something in the news related to an acquisition or a leadership change or litigation, whatever that business trigger event that is important to me. When I get up in the morning and I start my day, I'm having my cup of coffee, my email rolls in and it tells me who I should call. So instead of thinking of the farmer or hunter sales analogies, I like to give the analogy of a fisherman, where Inside View allows me to have 200 fishing poles in the water, and I've got them out there. And when I get a fish on the hook, it dings and I just reel it in. And I've got all these fishing poles constantly fishing, and I'm only focused on reeling in the very highest probability of accounts or prospects. And I'm able to do that because I've predetermined ahead of time what I'm interested in and what's relevant, so that I can reel in that new prospect and convert that to an account, new business. And that's really where Inside View becomes a powerful tool that gives you and your sales reps, your team, the highest probability of success with your time. So now we're going to go back into finishing up with a brief conclusion here in our presentation. Now that we've gone through the demo, and let's jump from the demo to a quick overview of Inside View CRM Intelligence, where we are increasing marketing and sales productivity. We're improving your overall data quality and the cleanliness of your CRM, and then we're accelerating CRM adoption. So because your sales reps are more efficient and more effective, efficient, they're saving time, research, and effective, they're able to get one new opportunity per quarter. And by the way, that opportunity is a bigger dollar amount. Because of that, now your sales reps want to be inside CRM. And now they want to be there where they're living anyway, because they get these relevant insights and these connections right there at their fingertips, and it's helping them make more sales. We work with customers here that are shown that have given us some great testimonials. The voice of the customer is always very powerful in marketing for exactly where we've increased qualified leads 3 times. For our Inside View for Sales product, working with Adobe, where we've reduced their research time in half. In account management, working with Marketo, and we've helped them to identify and upsell opportunities across thousands of their accounts. And then last but not least, working with Armanino, a well-known Microsoft partner, where we've helped increase their CRM adoption by 50%. Inside View is the recognized leader in CRM, and specifically CRM intelligence, where we are working very closely as a Microsoft partner. You can see here some of the awards that we've received. Had the pleasure of exhibiting last week at the big Convergence show in Atlanta, where there was a lot of excitement about some new things that we're rolling out in the Dynamics community. So let's have a look at that. One thing that was covered is our CRM Social Insights, powered by Inside View. We've just introduced Social Insights for the Professional Edition. Here it is, very similar to what you've seen, a little bit of a different look and feel, but that you see the company firmographics, you see that you get the relevant news articles, the industry profiles with all the financial details, the family trees, who's the parent company, who's the subsidiary, and you really get to see the complete social profile along with your colleagues' connections and your private company cloud. So this is something that we've just launched, natively integrated the Professional Edition of 2013 online. And another new product that we've just come out with, Inside View for Marketing Lead Enrich, allows us to work with you for your online forums where you're collecting information. Maybe you're delivering a free ebook or something along those lines. And we take minimal fields with an online form, just the first name, last name, and email address. And from that, we are able to enrich that record. So this is a new product, Inside View for Marketing Lead Enrich. And you can think about less fields and higher conversion rates on your web forms. We can gather the information as well from a trade show. Let's take all of our convergence leads, and we have minimal information from scanning badges or whatnot. Well, we can simply enrich that information. You upload a CSV spreadsheet right inside Dynamics from those trade show leads, and we automatically enrich that, whether it came from your web forms, whether it came from a trade show, whatever the source is. And so that's a brand new product that we've just launched as well that we're real excited about. So there's a couple of different options here when it comes to our solutions, because we work with both online and on-premise environments, all the way back to 4.0, 2011, 2013, both online and on-prem. And our on-premise customers are already getting a significant discount at $49 a seat for our Enterprise Edition, where we can provide Inside View for Sales for them. And we've got a big promotion that we're doing right now following Convergence that we'll announce here shortly. And then for online, Social Insights comes natively integrated with that Professional Edition, but you can then add on to that with additional capabilities, our full Enterprise Edition as well, for $25 per user per month, $25 per seat. And then last but not least, we've got Lead Enrich, which works with online right now. And then if you do have on-premise lead and rich needs, we can talk about doing that for you offline through our data services and our professional services product offerings. But lead enrich is really based on the quantity of leads that we're enriching. So you can see here the pricing breakdown starts at $6,000 a year for up to 500 leads per month. So let's talk about that promotion. I know a lot of you are on-premise, and we are doing a 30-day free trial. Let's get started and get things set up. But after that, 3 months with an annual license, we're going to give you for free for all of our new on-premise customers. Capture this code, the code in the bottom left, live demo is the code that you will need to take advantage of this promotion. Live demo to get your 3 months free with the purchase of an annual license. So in summary, Inside View has 50 plus million company and people and social profile records in our database. We aggregate over 30,000 different sources that we accumulate data from. We've got over 13,000 current customers, and that equates to over 350,000 users. We were founded back in 2005, and this is one of the key statistics that I think really says it all. We've got a 98% customer retention. So in conclusion here, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Megan. We are now going to open this up for any questions. I'm going to turn this back over to Megan to lead a brief Q&A, and then you can see the email on the bottom here, Microsoft@insideview.com, to reach out to us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Preston. Lots of questions came in. First of all, what does it mean to have a connection? You referenced the LinkedIn connection with a coworker, but where else do our connections pull from?
Well, that's a great question, and that's one of the most powerful pieces of our solution when you get into your own private connection cloud. Each different type of connection has a different strength to it or says something different. If I've loaded in my Outlook connections for Inside View to match and to leverage across our team, I know that those are very business-oriented, pretty strong connections that I've had either a meeting with or I've been in email dialogue with because I've added them to my Outlook. And if I'm leveraging the connection of our CEO, boy, somebody that is so knowledgeable in the space and so well connected, you know, that type of a business Outlook connection can go a long way when you're looking for an introduction. If I'm lower level trying to make a sale and I reach out saying, hey, can you introduce me? That's a great connection. It's in your Outlook. LinkedIn might be more for, geared towards recruiters, but I think that, the titles there are something that are certainly kept very relevant with your profiles, and you've probably then networked there from more of a networking standpoint, that type of a connection. Facebook going to be pretty personal, but that might mean that it's a very strong connection. You can also leverage your coworkers, previous work experience where you've worked previously, and then where you went to college. If I went to Harvard or Stanford, my alma mater might be a very strong connection to leverage, and so that would at least get some dialogue going with a potential contact. We put all those together, we give you all the different options, and we allow you to pick the strongest connection based on a combination of, let's say, boy, that person connected with Outlook, Facebook, and LinkedIn versus just, went to school with them in the past.
Wonderful, great. And then another question, can a list be built showing job openings within companies, and can that then be fed back into CRM?
So we can build lists based on all kinds of custom catered criteria, and it's all about how you set things up ahead of time. So for certain, trigger events related to, job openings or title changes, the answer is, yeah, we can incorporate that as part of the keywords and then set the bigger guidelines of in what industry and in what geography. And all of that, if it's set up ahead of time for you by your administrator or by each individual team member, there's some flexibility where you can have some shared smart agents, your custom agents that are out there as part of your searching and building list criteria across your team. Or you can have your own specific where each user might, let's say, I'm targeting one industry and another rep that I work with is targeting another industry. We would have our own relevant insights and build our own list with those insights that's just really related to our customer specific needs.
Perfect. And then on form data collected and utilized for lead enrich, can it be generic email addresses like at Yahoo, at Gmail, at Hotmail be filtered out?
Yes, that brings up a great point. So when we're looking at people, the primary things that we weigh are the person's name and their email address. And if they have a corporate email address like at insideview.com versus at Gmail, at Hotmail, at Yahoo, we're able to provide a very good company match associated with that corporate email address. Let's take Xerox, for example. Xerox.com, we would provide the U.S. corporate headquarters, but Xerox.ca, we would provide the Canadian division of Xerox, and we would show you how that's associated in the family tree. So looking at several other components besides just the name and the email address or the company and the company's website address, Xerox.com, Xerox.ca, we do factor in other variables as well, and how our very intelligent algorithms provide the best matches associated. And if we don't get it right, we allow the user to help us to find this is the correct match and then associate it correctly. And then in memory, we always provide you that correct information going forward. But we're going to provide you, recommendations and then leave that to you to interact with us so that it's the best possible match possible.
Wonderful. And then final question before we sign off, is the license fee an annual fee?
Yes, the licensing can be addressed on a case-by-case basis where we're going to put you in touch afterwards with an account executive, and we're going to put together a solution that will work with you. So I think the next step there is to get in touch. We typically to address your question directly, we typically do the licensing agreements on an annual basis where we do have flexibility as it relates to the duration of the contract and the number of seats. So that's all things that can be talked about on a case-by-case basis where we're going to put the right solution together for you. We really take a consultative selling approach where it might be a combination of Inside View for marketing, Inside View for sales, maybe some offline data projects where we're helping clean up your CRM and then we keep it clean on a quarterly basis. So we really look at and assess what your needs are and take that consultative approach where we're going to work hand in hand with you to ensure you're successful. In fact, after you sign up, we have a whole customer success team. You're going to have a dedicated customer success manager that is going to make sure that everything is set up properly, you're trained properly, educated with all of our different courses, and then provide you the usage reports. And we really partner with you together. That's why we've got a 98% customer retention.
Wonderful. We will wrap up there. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around for questions. Like I said in the beginning, we'll follow up with each of you just to make sure all your questions were answered. But we appreciate you joining us. Hope everybody's settling in after Convergence, those of you that attended, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it.